time to move on because I need to talk about Taemin. I don't want to. I need to talk about Taemin. If you don't know who Taemin is, it's funny because sometimes, like in that discussion with Lamar, and I realize like how he has no clue what we're saying. We really speak our own language in K-pop world sometimes. Not Korean. It's just like the language of comebacks and debuts and biases. We have our own world. So I'm reminded some people might not know. It's why I always give you a breakdown of who the artist is, when they debuted, bring you up to speed before I give you a review. So Taemin debuted in 2008. Taemin has been in this game for 15 years. He debuted under SM Entertainment in the legendary group SHINee. He's also a member of Super M, and he's also been a solo artist for 10 years. He's 30 years old, and he's been a solo artist for 10 years. Taemin is a legend in the world of K-pop. So many young idols look up to him. He has a very specific quality that's different. Taemin has a different presence in his music and his performance, and a lot of people have gravitated towards that. I will say for me, his solo stuff is phenomenal. It stands out almost more than the group stuff, although they're apples and oranges. He has given us songs like Move, Criminal, Advice, first comeback since returning from military service. Taemin released an EP. It's called Guilty, the fourth mini album. He gave us 6 songs. The single is called Guilty. Oof. Y'all. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I am so here for this. Wow. And I don't know why I'm surprised because I don't think Taemin's had a release that hasn't worked for me. I think his solo stuff is so strong. So strong. But this was just like he pushes boundaries in sound, also visually. We're gonna get to that music video, trust me. Oof. Yes, yes, we will. But sonically, he's given us this sultry, steamy, sexy. It's another Taemin classic. Guilty is a Taemin classic. It really has that feel and that vibe that only he can do. It's heavy, it's haunting. Um, I love the strings in this. And he uses strings a lot. And he really Taemin loves drama. He is here for the drama, and I'm so here for it. I love how he uses strings and heavy instrumentals. There's a 30-piece string ensemble in this piece. Guilty has a 30-piece string ensemble, and you can hear it and you can feel it. It's such a full sound. Gorgeous production. Obviously, it's SM, it's Taemin. It's going to be gorgeous, but I still have to hype it up. It's so beautiful. The music is so beautiful. The phrasing in the chorus, I love. It's really interesting phrasing because you have this like smooth, kind of languid thing going on. And then it gets faster, almost a more staccato, almost the building intensity. Very smart, very well done. I love that. And it's like, it's getting more intense and more powerful, and that's deliberate. And it's great. It's great. That chaotic start though in the second verse, where did that come from? Oh my God, that mumbling, that like whispering, mumbling, it's so intense. It's intense. It's really like, oh my goodness. Whew. Then he does a belt in that. Then he goes into this belting that is gorgeous. When I say no one else could do this song, no one else could do this song. No one else could do this song and pull this off. And I think that's kind of become his thing. He really has complexity in his music and his visuals and his identity that draws you in. But for me, the most important thing is the music's good. The music is so good. This song is sexy. This is Taemin. My goodness. He's a true artist in every sense of the word. Taemin is an artist. And a lot of times in K-pop, things are so controlled. Sometimes things are very manufactured. To see someone that really has artistry, and it's not a one off. He's been a solo artist for 10 years. This is who he is. It's really exciting. It's exciting. I get so like geeked out over this stuff. Um, and I think interestingly, Taemin doesn't have the best voice in K-pop. I'm going to say that. I think he has a great voice. But when I think of like the best male solo voice in K-pop, I'm always going to go with Big. I think Baekhyun is phenomenal. His tone, the quality of his voice, plus obviously his range. There's so much that for me personally, I would say he's the best male vocalist. But Taemin, he knows how to use his instrument so well. He knows his vocal color and what he brings to the table and how to use that in a way that's just masterful. It's really, really impressive. He's so talented. There's so much control in his vocal performance in a song like this that's really dynamic and at times chaotic and then so restrained. He takes you on a journey vocally. He's an artist. He's an artist. And because of his artistry and because of his talent, he's able to transcend whatever small limitations there could be. Maybe he doesn't have the entire range that Baekhyun has. He's still getting it done. Taemin's still getting it done. And vocally, when you hear him live, he kills it. So what I think is interesting with Guilty is he said in a recent interview that when Advice came out a couple years ago, they were deciding between Advice and Guilty at that time. So they went with Advice. Then he went to the military. Now, Shiny had a comeback. Now he's doing his solo thing again. So this song has been sitting on the shelf for like over 2 years. It's so good. And I think one of the things that really helps an artist like Taemin and why art, like true artistry, is special and why it gives you longevity because it's not trendy. This song wasn't written to keep up with the trends, to keep up with pop music, to keep up with hip hop, to keep up with trendy K-pop stuff. This is a Taemin song. So he could release it 10 years ago or he could release it 10 years from now. And I think it would still hit. That's special. That's unique. He's unique. Let's talk about this music video, y'all. Oof. Okay. Mm, wow. Wow. The video is so intense. It is so intense. But he has a way of expressing this really heavy intensity, sexuality, sensuality in a way that is, that he doesn't show you everything. There's a million music videos that are way sexier, but the way he does it, like blows them out of the water. There's something there that's just really captivating. I kind of looked at it. So it's him like visiting his old school, like the scene of the crime. And it looked to me like he was almost like a schoolboy who led a rebellion and now he revisits the scene of the crime. It felt a little bit like that. I'm not sure what the intentions were there explicitly. I don't know, but my viewpoint from watching it the first time was like, ooh, okay. Oh my god. We have to talk about the choreography. Shout out to Taemin's choreographer because this choreography is so memorable. This, I think, will be the one that everyone is doing. We're going to see so many dance challenges. I love the one with Hoshi. Hoshi has never been happier. He loves Taemin so much. It is exquisite choreography. Like a lot of his, when you think about Move, it was very rhythmic, a lot of hip action, not like quick, sharp K-pop movements. Criminal, probably my favorite Taemin song choreography. I loved that choreography so much. This one, the main chorus choreography is Taemin putting his hand under his shirt and going like this. And because his hand is under his shirt, you're seeing abs in this like slow body roll. Oh, oh my God. You guys, this is so sexy. This is like, Yikes. Wow. Ooh, ooh. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I am so here for this. I love this choreography so much. And selfishly, I'm very excited to see all of these idols do the ab reveal slow motion body roll choreography. It's very different than like the fast athletic choreography we're used to seeing from a lot of groups, especially boy bands. So, yeah, let's get those dance challenges going. Thank you, Taemin. Always giving us what we want. But the choreography just slayed. The intensity in this music video, the intensity, it feels palpable. It feels there's a lot of subtext here, and it's one of those ones where I'm going to let you fill it in for yourself. Because who knows if what I was feeling and what I was seeing was reality, but this was a very intense storyline, and it felt unnerving and exciting at the same time. Really effective. Really effective. Congratulations to Taemin. Kudos to the whole creative team, the director. This was like, yeah, yeah. I'm I'm here for it. I was losing my mind. This is when I'm happy I don't have a reaction video for that one because that would humiliate me the rest of my life. I don't think I would have even been able to speak. I just kept going, woo, like it. Taemin, I see you. Let's talk about the rest of the album, though. Guilty is clearly a standout. I love the song. I love the music video. I think it's very effective. It's Taemin. This is Taemin. But he released 5 other songs, and there's some good stuff on this EP. My album picks: She Loves Me Not, Night Away, and Blue. Okay, so She Loves Me Not. There's a similar feel here with the instrumentation as to Guilty. And what I mean by that is there's a little bit of darkness. There's a little bit of underlying tension that makes you feel uneasy. And the lyrics and the whole vibe, it's definitely the push-pull of an on and off relationship. But where a lot of artists, that's not like a new concept, but where a lot of artists make that super emotional and like you're so sad and mad and all of the emotions you go through. Taemin managed to make it feel mysterious and dangerous and of course sexy. There's something in this one that's not your average push pull. There's danger here. This feels really dangerous. Like, ooh, yikes. Yeah. The stakes are high, whatever's happening in this song. And it just grabbed me. It grabbed me on first listen. Great song. Night Away. Night Away was interesting to me because you have the first 4 songs of the album, and then you get into Night Away, and it's kind of like this romantic, dreamy break from that heaviness, from the drama. It's a little bit of an exhale, which I think we needed at that point in the album. So that was really well placed. That soft guitar kind of sets like a warm, safe vibe. And to me, this felt like a car ride away from the city to like look at the fall leaves and exhale. I felt that in this song, and it's beautiful. I also really like when Taemin's in his lower register. Those lower notes in this song specifically are really nice. He gets a lot of credit for the high notes, for his falsetto, and he does a wonderful job there. But I like it most in that mid and low range. And I'm always happy that we get to hear more and more of that as he progresses as a solo artist. So there was a warmth in the song and a warmth in his voice that was really refreshing. The last one I want to talk about, my last standout track from the CP was Blue. Of all the songs on this album, and there's a lot of emotion. I think this album is very intense. This song maybe brought out the most emotion for me. It was interesting. The music filled me with a lot of bittersweet nostalgia. It feels like a bittersweet goodbye. it's beautiful and it's not necessarily sad, but I think bittersweet nostalgia is one of the most difficult emotions to process. And I felt that in this song. There's feeling of moving forward with confidence. And in that, it kind of brings up hope. But the bittersweet nostalgic feeling, it's sad. So I felt like a swirl of emotions listening to this song. Amazing. Amazing. Uh, you know, to be an artist and to make someone feel something, job done. And this whole album took me on a journey and it made me feel a lot of things, like I'm sure most of you. But really, this one hit me in the gut. It was very well done. So I'm a massive fan of this project. I don't think Taemin misses. I think he's so confident in who he is as an artist, and it shines through in every single release. I will say, Never Gonna Dance Again Act 1, the first part of that series that was released in 2020, that's still my favorite Taemin project because Criminal is phenomenal. And when you see that live, it's like, this guy's on a different level. But there are a couple songs on that album that I always felt like deserved more. Obviously, like Two Kids is great, but Strangers and Clockwork are so slept on. Those are Taemin songs that I always go back to and I think are just so stunning and beautiful. That's still my favorite Taemin release in recent years. But this project is my favorite thing since that album. It's really well done. I'm so happy he's back. And I recently watched an interview with Taemin with Suga from BTS. All you ARMY know what I'm talking about. Suga does an interview series. I think it's called Drink with Suga. So you come on the show, you bring a drink, you guys drink and talk. It's really casual, very friendly vibe. And he had Taemin on. And it was really interesting because Taemin comes off very shy and like soft spoken, but he's so confident. That's what struck me watching that. I haven't seen a Taemin interview for quite a while. And I thought, oh, yeah, Taemin is a superstar. What stood out to me the most was he talked about being really comfortable in who he is as an artist. And he's comfortable with kind of the fluidity and being more of a gender neutral artist. And he's comfortable in who he is. That's massive. That's really massive to be at that point. And I think, again, who else is doing it like him? Who else out there brings that quality the way that Taemin does? It's hard to express what it is. Of course, it's gender neutral is kind of an easy way to phrase it, but it's so much more than that when you watch him. It's amazing. It's really, really cool. And I think, again, he's just so authentic because he's himself. And in that same interview, he talked about when he went solo, he had to make the choice to like do what's popular or stay true to himself. And he said, he never really cared or knew what people liked. He was just going to stay true to himself. So, and he's done that since day one. It's interesting. I thought that he was talking to Suga about that because I think you could say the same thing about the releases that Suga's put out. He is who he is, and that's what he wants to put out, and it feels very authentic. So it was I would recommend watching that interview. I obviously took a lot of nuggets from it, but I think Taemin's such a positive role model in so many ways, and K-pop is better off, and we're better off to have him in the space. He's an artist that transcends the genre. And I've got to say, I've seen him live now twice. I saw Super M. I'm one of the lucky fans that got to see Super M. One of the best concert experiences of my life. Y'all know I like a lot of those SM boys. Bake is one of my alts. Yeah, I was geeked out. Taeyong, obviously. Taemin, Mark, Lucas, Kai. Super M was freaking special. I'm so sad we're never going to see it again. But I saw Taemin there, and he did it very well. But I wasn't like he was a really solid group member. He knows how to fit into a group. And then a couple months ago, I saw him at KCON. And I've got to be real, the whole weekend, I think Taemin was the highlight of KCON. He was phenomenal on stage. He was at a different level. His performance, his artistry, the choreography, he just was at a different level. It reminded me of like a Michael Jackson or a Prince. He's really a special person and a special artist. So shout out to Taemin. I'm obsessed with this release. That guilty choreography. Oof. Yep. Yep. hmm I love it. You know, it would be great. I'm just going to suggest this to SM, JYP. Why don't we do a Hyunjin challenge? Let's do Taemin and Hyunjin doing the guilty choreography. If that happens, I don't know if I'll be here next week because I will die, but I think it would be worth it. I think that would. Anyways, now I'll think about my dream dance challenges to guilty later because we've got to move on with the show. It's time for my rankings from Taemin's new EP, Guilty, the fourth mini album. These are my initial thoughts from my least favorite song to my favorite song. At number 6, it was Not Over You. Great chorus. It just wasn't as memorable for me on the first few listens. Number 5, The Rizness. I love the beat. Don't get me wrong. I really do love the beat. I think it's a good song. The Rizness thing. Eh. Number 4 was Night Away. Number 3 is Blue. My number 2 song, She Loves Me, She Loves Me Not, which means my number 1 song on this new Taemin release, it was the single, it was the right choice, Guilty. I am so guilty for loving this album, for loving Taemin, for being obsessed with this release. If you're not a Taemin fan, if this maybe isn't your vibe, check it out. Check it out. This is a great project. Welcome back, Taemin. We're so happy to have you. Impressed as always. Another time that Taemin knocked it out of the park. Congratulations.